Testing. You're late.
Wizard is never late.
Welcome to Sweden.
Thank you.
Enjoy the sweets.
The Swedes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we doing good?
Yes. In my country, Swedes are turnips. Yeah, you know, you call them Swedes.
Ah,
I enjoy those. I also enjoy these. You know, they're better looking turnips than ours. They really do. Swedes don't.
who wants the first question from Mr. McCoy?
All right, well, you're going to go straight to questions. Well, I think the best thing to do is I should
One round.
and I should put up your hand if you want to ask me a question. Well, there's someone over there. Right. Okay. Well, yes and no, really. I mean, I was the opening scenes I did with animals. That was all kind of improvised because there weren't really any lines except for when I had to do the spell, magic spell, try and save the hedgehog and various things like that. So it was just once the costume was on and the bird shit, you know, that was it. I knew the character. Peter Jackson said he's always wanted to cover an actor in shit and he covered me in it. So question? Yeah, right, right. Are you pointing up or are you raw? Well, no, not really. I mean, when we started off making it last year, Peter brought his own home camera to make Five Doctors reboot. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but we realised we weren't going to be in the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, so we decided we'd try and break in ourselves, and we made a film of our attempt to get into the 50th anniversary. And it started off just as a whole movie, really. And when we started asking people if they wanted to be in it, and when the producer of Doctor Who said he'd be in it, suddenly it became bigger, and they gave us some help, and, you know, to make it. It became much more professional. Although, I mean, Peter Davidson is brilliant at making those things, so it would have been good anyway without that help. I didn't realise it was so popular. I'm so pleased, we're all so pleased. I mean, it's just great fun. If you haven't seen it, it's on, where is it? It's on, what? BBC iPlayer. It's on BBC One, bbc.co.something and all slash movies. I don't know, something like that. New technology. Anyone else have a ask a I wear even in black and say anyone else have a question? Well, I met at least 5. Yes, no, I have. I met. The only one I haven't met is later I became a father and I had 2 sons and I read to them those books. And then I got the part, I read it again. I still don't understand what's going on. But it was great anyway.
Which role do you like the best? Better guess or Doctor Who?
I keep being asked that, which one do you like the best? I like them both really. I did the Doctor Who 26 years ago. I mean, those photographs of me as Doctor Who and my son, they are actually me. I looked like that years ago. And that was great, it was a wonderful role. As is Radagast. I'm an actor. I just finished doing, yesterday or the day before that, I was filming and I was playing a one-eyed, wooden-legged Latin teacher in a prison. And I really enjoyed doing that. I enjoy acting. I enjoy them all really. And although, you know, Doctor Who and Radagast are quite prominent to all of you really, but every job I do is prominent, and one hopes as an actor you fall in love with the character you're playing at that time. On Monday and Tuesday I was playing Doctor Who in audio, big Finnish audios. So Wednesday, Thursday I was playing this one-eyed Latin teacher, and today I'm playing me, and I'm in love with all of them. Anyway, so no, I like, it's very difficult to make that choice really. I just love doing them all. It was great having a shit down my face.
How was it, the Radagast?
It was wonderful to play Radagast, yes. I mean, I really did enjoy it. It was such an eccentric and lovable character. And so, you know, not being eccentric and not being lovable, it called across, you know, many acting skills from me to actually play the part. So I did enjoy playing him very much. I love being on the sledge, being pulled around with all those rabbits.
How long did it take to put on makeup and a beard when shooting the Hobbit?
About an hour and a half. It was very quick, really. The poor dwarfs, they were 4 hours sometimes in makeup. And, you know, they had to do that, you know, and come in, and then some days they weren't called, and just hanging around, all made up. Whereas I was very lucky, because it was just, you know, the wig, you just stick a wig on and you just glue around here. It's real, actually, for a child in here, the wig line. No, you grew, you know, and the nose, that's it really. Bit of makeup. And whee! Where are those rabbits? Excuse me, Mom.
Would you rather have a sonic screwdriver than rabbits?
Yes, that sounds like a euphemism. I don't have a sonic screwdriver. What are you talking about? What are you suggesting? And then you bring in the rabbits? It's getting rude about them, isn't it? The thing is, I never had a sonic screwdriver. The producer at the time decided, and I think he was quite right really, that they should get rid of this sonic screwdriver because it made it too easy for the writers to come up with a way of getting the Doctor out of trouble. He thought it'd be much more fun to make the writers, you know, kind of use their brains and not, you know, suddenly, Doctor's in terrible trouble, what shall I do? He whips out his sonic screwdriver, you know. And that can be rude as well. Anyway, do you know what I mean? So I never had a sonic screwdriver, so I don't, and having the rabbits, well yes, it was lovely. It was lovely, I mean it was lovely working with those animals, not. When I was actually making it, it was only me in that first set, me in that wonderful house, in a dead hedgehog, stuffed hedgehog. There was I working away thinking, wow, I'm the king of the castle. This is my scene. I'm the star here. I go watch the film, The Wizards of Weta. They bring to life this upstaging little hedgehog. We hate him. All you can do is look at this bloody hedgehog. I'm in the scene. No, this is the hedgehog. And then they give me all those rabbits. And when I was being pulled along on my sledge, it was 10 men pulling me. That's all right. Rabbits, you know, lovable little rabbits. I hate them.
What's your favorite part of the product?
Favorite part? Well, actually, riding on the sledge, really. We used to do, it was very weird because it was all done in green, with a green screen. And they used to have, the sledge was on a kind of a big rubber ring covered in green. And so it would go up and down like that, and I'd be on the back of it going like that. And then there'd be a couple of men dressed up in green. It was weird, it was like an art, you know, kind of piece of art. All this green and green men wandering around. Anyway, they'd be shaking up and down. And we were doing this scene where I had to do double take, go like that. And they kept saying, more, and I went like that. And just before I did that scene, they'd taken away the padding underneath the green flat, you know, floor. And they forgot to put it back. And so as I was doing this, I flew off backwards onto the concrete floor. And it was quite high up. I was about here, really. And I went backwards, and my bottom hit the concrete floor, and it hurt. And my head was just about to hit it. And as it hit, I could feel my brain moving inside my head. But just at the same time, and luckily we were in New Zealand where they know how to play rugby, there was a rugby player, and he dived and grabbed my head in his hand and saved me from being knocked out, or whatever, you know, because it was a very bad fall. Anyway, yeah, it was still good fun. What are you laughing at?
How was it to work with so many singers with Serena McCoy?
Oh, Serena. As he's called. Serena McCoy. He calls it himself, really. Wow. I don't know what else like working with Serena McCoy. It's hard on the neck. He's up there. He's a tall fella. I've worked with Ian for many years now. I originally did my very first job with Ian, I can't quite remember when, about 10, I can't remember, 2000 something or other. We did King Lear. Ian was giving King Lear, and I played the Fool. And we toured the whole world with it. Well, not all the world, but around the world. We were around the world with it anyway. And in fact, we ended up in New Zealand, and that's how I got to meet Peter Jackson. And that's, in a way, how I got, partly one of the ways I got into playing Radagast the Brown. But it was lovely. It was, I mean, Ian, you know, has become a great mate, really. And it was interesting when I arrived a month or two, a month and a half after they'd started filming early on. And Ian, when I arrived, he went, "Oh, thank God you're here." Yeah, thank God you're here. I said, because I've been doing nothing but green screen. And he said, it was terrible. I've been working on one end of the set, which is way down there, is all by himself, with photographs of the dwarfs and Martin, you know, the Radagast. No, I mean Bilbo. And anyway, he's got those photographs, and they've got little lights on them. And in his ears a microphone, a speaker. And they were at the other end of the set, in the set, acting away, and he was stuck all by himself in the screenplays. And every time the dwarf spoke, the light went on, so he had to look at it. And the very first day he did it, he broke down and cried. Because he said, "This is not acting. I've spent 60 years as an actor, and now look what I'm doing. Working with a photograph, and there was another F before the photograph anyway, but and so when I arrived, because he knew we had scenes together, and we were in the same world together, and we could make eye contact together, he was really pleased that I turned up. Or sometimes when we were working on the stage, I think he'd rather I wasn't on it. Anyway, in the film he was very pleased.
Do you still watch the film?
Yes. Yes. No. Sometimes, yes. I do watch it all the time because I'm actually quite busy, really. I'm doing things, and you know, and I'm only doing this just to annoy these people, so they have to know. So I do watch it. I think Matt Smith is wonderful. I met Matt recently when we were making 5-ish Doctors, and he was such a, he was like an Afghan hound. He was bounding up to you. He really bounds up to you and he hugs you and he's lovely and he licks your face and he wags his tail. He's a delightful man. And David I'd worked with before. We did these big Finnish things that some of you may know. And David played a Nazi in the prisoner of war camp one that we did many years ago. So I knew David from that. And yeah, well, I try and see each one's, a couple of their stories, but I haven't seen too many of them. I did see the 50th anniversary in 3D in the cinema. I realised that I wasn't in it. Anyway, we got our revenge. Irish doctors. Well, I've played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I've been an actor for 40 odd years, maybe more than 50. I love playing. I mean, I really like playing Azdak and the Caucasian Chuck Sargent. I never played him, but I'd like to play Richard III. I was a little glorious summer. I was some of you. I quite like playing, kind of eccentric characters. You might not really believe that, but I do actually like eccentric characters. I mean, Radagast is great. Doctor Who is brilliant. He can be anything and everything. He's a multifaceted person. Hello.
Hello. Did you get to keep any of the props?
Well, from Doctor Who, I had the umbrella and I had the costume. The reason why I had the costume was that they gave me a special costume to do public appearances while I was doing it, and they forgot to ask for it back. So I asked for the costume and that. They were very, very strict on stuff on the Hobbit, very strict. And but they did at the end. They gave me my staff, and so I've got that at home, which is really nice. Tries to steal it and hit him over the head with it. Yeah. Hello.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, no, I watch my own movies and go, oh, that's me. Yeah, not very often. I mean, now and again. I'll let you into a secret. I did manage to see most of this Hobbit 2, but the night before the Hobbit 2 premiere, first time I ever saw it was in Berlin. The night before, I was in Ottawa, in Canada. So I flew overnight to Frankfurt, got another plane to Berlin, got off the plane and met the press, and met everybody for the film. And then we went and we had some food, and then there was champagne, and then there was the red carpet, and there was hundreds of people, and it was great fun. And then we came to the film, and I fell asleep. That's a secret, don't tell Peter Jackson that. I did not offer me. Was it you? Again? Oh my goodness, I'm not sure if this is against the rules.
If it wasn't for Radagast, which character in the movies did you want to play?
Well, originally, I was up for Bilbo Baggins in Lord of the Rings, and I nearly got it. Because what happens is they ask for, casting directors, get some actors you might think might be good for this kind of role. And they got myself and various others. And then over a period of time, discussions are had and people work out who should fit who and all that. And then they slowly pare them down. And they did it down to 2. And then this was 6 months I've been hanging around waiting to find out if I was still. And they kept phoning up and said, listen, he's still in the picture, which is a lie, but you know what I mean, it's the expression. And he's still, we expect him, we're interested in him. So anyway, I nearly got Bilbo Baggins, so I quite like to have done that in Lord of the Rings. So I think I got it. Yeah, that'd be a good actor. Oh, I don't know, is that alright everybody? Should we like to? Yeah, okay.
First of all, I heard that you can sound like a bird. I was wondering if you could do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's...
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually. I mean, when Peter, it was Peter's idea to cover me in bird droppings. Because he did say to me, he said, I've always wanted to cover an actor as shit. And I said, well, you know, it's a shitty job, someone's got to do it. You know? No, I just went along with it. I mean, I was just so pleased and delighted and amazed to be in this wonderful world. And, you know, whatever they gave me, I took and, you know, enjoyed it.
How did you get into acting?
How did I get into acting? Well, when I arrived in the world, I think I must have peed into someone's face and made them laugh. I've been making people laugh since I was a baby, really. I think I've just always, you know, kind of tried to entertain. But I never knew how to get into acting as such. I used to walk past the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, which has got, it's a bit imposing, drama school.